Starting with number 3, solve the following inequality and graph it. So let's take a closer look at it. So solving for p, it's in a fraction and being divided by 6. So what we do is cross the 6 out, bring it to the other side, and multiply it to 3. So we have 18 is greater than p. Now, to be able to graph it properly, it has to be on the left. So put the p on the left and the 18 on the right, and then switch the direction of the inequality. So p is less than 18. So let's graph that. Okay, so typing in p is less than 18. Now graphing it, since we see it being on the left with the letter, go by the way it's pointing is pointing to the left. And since there's no line under it, it's an open circle going to the left at 18, so that's going to be b. So that will be the answer for 3. Number 4, solve the following inequality. So like we would an equation, we first cross the 5 out and bring it to the other side and multiply it to 6.4. Multiplying 6.4 times 5 gives you 32. So we have negative v is greater than or equal to 32. Divide both sides by negative 1 and we get positive v. But when we divide the inequality by a negative number, we got to switch the direction of it. So v is less than or equal to negative 32. So multiplying or dividing by a negative number means you switch the direction of the inequality. So let's graph this. So we have v is less than or equal to negative 32. That's the answer for number 4. Now let's graph it. So there's a line under the inequality, so it has to be a closed circle. And it's at negative 32, so it has to be C. D is at positive 32. So that's going to be the graph for number 4. Skipping to number 8, we are solving the following inequality, and then we're going to graph the solution. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 5 first. Now when we do that, we got to switch the direction of the inequality because we're dividing by a negative number. So we'll get negative 40 divided by negative 5 is 8, but it'll be greater than instead of less than C. But now we need the C on the left to be able to graph it. So put the C on the left and 8 on the right and change the direction of the inequality again. So then you'll have C is less than 8. Okay, so now let's graph that. So typing in C is less than 8. And then my graph will be starting at 8 and going to the left with an open circle because there's no line under it. So that means it's going to be B. And that's number 8. 10. Solve and graph the inequality. So what we do first is divide both sides by negative 2. Because we divided by a negative number, we switch the direction of the inequality. So we have h is less than or equal to negative 5 because 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. So let's graph that. So we have less than or equal to negative 5. Now for my graph, it will be starting at negative 5, but then going to the right because it's pointing toward the right, and it's going to be a closed circle because of a line under it. So that tells me it has to be B because it's going to the right, and it's a closed circle at negative 5. And that's the graph for number 10. Number 11. A certain species of fish costs $2.99 each. You can spend no more than $50. How many of this type of fish can you buy for your aquarium? Now, no more than 50 means you can spend that much or less. That's less than or equal to. $2.99 each will be $2.99x because x is going to be each. So my inequality is going to be $2.99x is less than or equal to 50. I divide both sides by $2.99. Now I get a decimal of 16.7 about. Now what happens is I can't get a part of a fish, but if I go up to the next whole fish, which is 17, it means now I'm spending more than what I have. So I have to go down. So I have to round down to 16. So 16 fish is the most amount of fish I can buy of that type. So let's type that in. So we're going to type in 16. And that's number 11. Now, number 12 might look a little tricky, but visualizing what's going on there, it's actually not too bad. So this is saying we're looking for this here. So something times s greater than or equal to 24. Now, since we're told our answer over here is s is less than or equal to negative 3, to get this s by itself, we move whatever this is away from it. Since they're next to each other now, it means they're being multiplied, so to undo that, you divide. So this number divided by this number gives you negative 3. So all we got to do is literally divide 24 by negative 3, which gives you negative 8. So the answer is going to be negative 8. So let's type it in. So typing it in, we have negative 8 for number 12.